Yeah, see, this is what happens to the hair after the hot heat gets to it.
It's still beautiful. You still pretty. Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Cozy Sips with Cat. I am Cassie, and I don't know. I was gonna say I'm in rare form tonight, but I think it might be my little co-host over there, Ty, is in rare form tonight.
I forgot we were live. I'm talking about my hair. I forgot we were live. so so forgive me, people who watch this show either now or later. I forgot we were live.
Oh my
Today,
goodness.
today is a special show. It's a little different than our typical shows. We're not going to follow the whole, books, life, love, and sex. Today is about interviewing Miss Cassie V because guess what? This is her fifth year in writing. Woo! Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate.
Yay!
So
And I apologize. Hey, Ronnie, I apologize in advance, everyone. My energy is probably like at a six tonight. I am sick. It just came down on me all out the blue, but I am here and I still love y'all for being here with us. And I'm gonna give it my best, but I ain't all the way up there tonight. So just just so you know why. I got a head cold, a little congested, a little tired, but I'm good. Thanks, Ronnie.
yes, we're good. I maybe have energy because I'm drinking this nice, lovely Propel grape water.
Ooh,
Like I'm
grape.
advertising.
Did you say
It's
grape?
great flavor. It's great
Oh, I
flavor.
like that. I love grape flavored things. And
It's,
I am, y'all like my little Minnie Mouse mug?
yes.
I got me some sweet iced tea tonight. That's what I'm sipping on.
Nice, nice. Okay, well, we're gonna jump right in it. What I do want to say is thank you all. If you're here, I'm glad you're here because tonight is my time to interview the lovely Cassie Barano. So we're gonna talk a little bit about what makes her tick, a little bit of her history, and just gonna have fun with the show. So if you have any questions about anything anything could, surrounding Miss Cassie V, now is the time. Okay? And this is very simple question.
Behave, people.
Do you not have to behave? You do not have
Have
to
pity on
behave.
me. I'm not feeling well.
This might make you feel better. So do not,
I don't
do
trust
not.
it. I
Yes.
don't trust it. Okay.
Okay. Yes. So backing up, I'm gonna get to your history a little bit, but I at
Hmm.
least want to say for you all, this is the strangest thing about it, and this is I reached out to Cassie, I guess 4 years ago, right? Because I think whenever we did the okay about
Donna
4 years,
LaTrellers. Hmm.
I didn't know this was your fifth year until I started talking about it being my fifth year.
Hmm.
That's when I was like, that's so crazy. And of course,
I love it.
y'all probably heard the story that I thought she was white. I don't even know why I reached out to her. Honestly. I don't. I'm still trying to understand what made me reach out because I wasn't reaching out to white authors, but something about I saw her name flash one day and I was like, I'm gonna reach
Knowing that
out.
she writes African American romance.
Exactly. And at the time, I wasn't even thinking about writing interracial. So that was the part that was just weird to me. Like, why would I just pick this random white author and reach out to her? But she responded. I don't even remember what I asked. I just remember reaching out. And as she responded back, and we just started talking. And she was like, you want to know who I really am? And I'm all like, Cassie Verano. That's who I know. and and she's like, oh, and she's like, it's funny because she's like, no, I'm gonna show you who I really am. And then when she showed me, I was like, oh, I was a part of one of her. She had did like a promo for some series. I want to say it was a biker. I can't remember exactly. She was a part of a series for a
Oh
biker
yeah. How am I not remembering that right now? Lady Guardians. It was the Lady
lady. Yes,
Guardians.
that's what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
And again, I don't know why you
Motorcycle Club.
reached out to me because I had no kind of story like that. So I'm still trying to think. But she was like, I'm doing a promo. If you just want to, I think it was a book swap. Like if you just want to,
Hmm.
share some books, that's like fine. So that's her
And
other,
I had you on my blog at the time
and
too.
you
If
had
you,
me on your
yeah,
blog.
yeah.
And so when she said, "This is who I really am," I was like, "Cheryl Ramsey, what? I thought you was white." That's the first time I told her. So, she laughed so hard. She was like, "What will make you
And
think?" I said,
still
"I."
to this
And it's not like I
day, I
read any
laugh
of her,
about that.
and I hadn't even read her book yet. I can see if I read some of her books, and let me explain. I want to make that clear when I say that. I don't mean no
Hey,
disrespect. So let me
Erica.
explain uh, when I say that. But I literally, um, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I thought she was a nice, sweet lady, and she reached out to me. So of course, once I found out who she was, we just became the best of friends. Even though we never met until last year in person
Hmm.
at One Love, and we have been sharing this journey, the ups and the downs, the good things and the bad, wanting to quit, not quit, questioning our existence, questioning our lives.
All
For
the
this,
highs and the lows we
all the
share
highs
together
and
because
the
we
lows.
understand. We understand each other like
Yes,
nobody else ever would. Not
nobody,
even our own families.
not even the family, not when it comes to
Yeah,
this. Like this is a
yeah.
part that we can ask each other because we know, like, well, you know how it feels.
Hmm.
Is this going too far? Not going too far? How does this blurb sound? Cover look just even though we can get opinions from other people, but
Yeah.
there is a difference. But I do want to say this is the first question I'm asking you. I wanted to give a little history um of us, but this is a question. You remember your first story?
My first store as Cassie.
No, just first story.
Oh, oh. Okay. So first story ever. First story completed. Let me say that because y'all, I've been writing since I was 12 years old. We're not going to talk about how old I am now, but I've been writing for that long and I never finished a story. And my husband started talking junk about it. Anybody who knows Mr. V knows he talks big junk. And so a coworker of mine at that time challenged me. She was like, "We're just gonna shut him up. We can show him better than we can tell him." So I was working somewhere part time. When I got off in the afternoon, we would lock my office door and I would stay in there and finish writing. And so that very first book was, he and I go back and forth about this. But anyway, the very first book was called Reflections of Promises. Um,
I like that.
yeah, and it was about, and it was an African American couple. It was about,
Wait, back up. You wrote
uh-huh.
your first romance about an African American couple at age 12?
No, 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 no. Remember, I said I never finished one until he
Yes.
challenged me to finish
Oh,
one.
gotcha. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
all those
So it's
stories
like
back
that's your,
then,
okay.
no. I
Okay.
probably get 3 or 4 chapters in, and my
Okay.
mind is constantly jumping, y'all, which is why I'm always writing. But my mind is constantly jumping. I get 3 or 4 chapters in, get bored, and start a whole new story. And so he was like, "I want to see you finish one."
Gotcha.
And so that was the big challenge for me to actually finish one and to keep myself disciplined enough not to get bored and find something new. And so it was an African American couple, and I published it. I've pulled it back since, but it was an African American couple who they couldn't have kids. Um, on the outside looking out, they were deeply in love. They had the perfect marriage. He was a therapist, and she was a chief human resource officer, and they were living this excellent life. What he did not know is that she had a past. She was not who he thought she was. She
Hmm.
didn't, come from this wealthy upbringing where her parents passed away. She really came from the hood. And not only had she come from the hood, but she had a child, and she had a child at a very young age. And so that child was almost raised like her sister. And behind closed doors, he was abusive to her, and
Oh
people
wow.
didn't know that. And so after a while, she decided to go back home because her mother wrote her, like, "You need to come home. It's been a while. We need to see you. Just lay our eyes on you," because she had pretty much closed that door. And she went back home, and within going back home, it made her reevaluate her whole life, all of her choices and decisions she made, as well as dealing with the daughter who she had seen as her sister all that time. So that was my first story.
That's yeah. Somebody said be released. I was feeling the same way. I apologize. Those are my sister looking for a phone, so I'm trying to be like she's doing all kind of stuff in the background. I'm all like, okay, but anyway, yes, I was thinking that. Yes, did you ever release it or just something you finished?
No, I released it. That was actually the second book I released, even though it was the first one that I finished. That was
So
the second book I
what's the
released,
name?
Reflections of Promises. But I pulled it, and I might put it back out there again one day.
I think it says you didn't.
Yeah,
I think you need to put it back out there. You told that story like it was yesterday. I think it needs to come back.
yeah. That was my baby. That was
Yes,
my baby.
or at least let it be one of those special purchases for people following you or something.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I have to talk to Carla about that because I know she's gonna be all over me later.
Mm-hmm. Stay on the call because that sounds like a good story. Yes. It sounds like a very in-depth and deep story. And how old were you when you wrote that?
I was grown at that point.
Okay.
I want to say 30, 31.
Oh yeah, we definitely want to see
Yeah.
what the show slash Cassie mind was like at 30.
Yeah.
And see. Okay.
Yeah. So,
So we kind of jumped ahead because I just want to know if you she's been writing since forever, but I wanted to start with that, but I also want you to tell us your journey in terms of um as you already say, you already started writing. When did you decide to actually publish though?
so I didn't decide to publish.
Okay.
He decided that I was going to publish.
Hmm.
And backing up again, I met my husband when I was like 22 years old. And he is not a nosy person, but he found a box of stories in my closet. And that's when he saw that all of them were half written.
Hmm.
And at first, when he was going through it, he thought they were like journals or diaries. And he was like, he didn't know why he was so drawn to it because that's just not who he is. And I wasn't at home, and I came back home. We weren't living together at the time, but he had spent the night over my house, and I came back, and he's got all my stuff laid out on the bed around him, and I'm sitting here like horrified, like, oh my god, I know he thinks I'm stupid. Why is he reading this stuff? Like, I'm so embarrassed, and he's embarrassed at being caught. So he started pushing me way back then.
Hmm.
Fast forward to 2011, I was in a book club. I had a book club of some of my friends and some of my kids, um, their friends' parents. And so he said, I tell you what, if you don't think that your work is good enough for the world to read, let them read it. Let your book club members read it. Don't tell them who it is and
Okay.
get their honest opinion. Just tell them that a friend of yours is looking at publishing and she wants y'all's honest opinion. And I said, okay, I can do that. So I did that. And by the end of the, not that day that they left with the manuscript, but the very next day they were calling me and giving their opinions and they wanted to fight characters and so on and so forth. And so at that point, when we had our next meeting, that's when I disclosed that it was me. And everybody was caught off guard, including my best friend, because she was like, I didn't even know you wrote. That was something I kept close to my chest because I didn't want anybody judging me. So after that, he pushed me even harder because he had been wanting me to do it anyway. And I went with one of those little small presses that I learned to never do that again. And I released Real Secrets, which was the second book I wrote. And then after that, I decided to go the indie route on Amazon and release Reflections of Promises. So
Yes,
it
real
wasn't
secret
as
sound.
blatant as he is.
Look, real secret sound like a BT. One of those like
That was
BT
about a
at
stripper,
night.
y'all. That was about a stripper. Yeah, that was the urban fiction one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So then tell us how Shell and then Cassie came to be. And I'm only asking about Shell because that is it's who
yeah,
you are too.
yeah, absolutely. So after Reflections of Promises published, and it happened to be on our anniversary in 2012. I was so excited. I was at work, and I remember calling him and saying, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe it! It's on Amazon." And I remember my little silly self walking to the grocery store that day from my car. I had parked in the parking lot. Me and my daughter got out. We were walking up to the grocery store, and I was looking around at people. And she said, "Mama, what you doing?" I said, "I feel like everybody should know me." And she said, "Why?" I said, "Because I got a book, and I feel like everybody should know me." And I really, really got hooked on that feeling of actually being able to go out online and see something that I, put out there like, oh my God, this came from my brain, this came from my heart, and it's out there, and people can actually see this and enjoy it, hopefully. And so I look forward from that moment on to continuing that journey. And then fast forward to 2019, right as we were coming up on COVID, I had written a whole bunch of stories, just like in my off time, and had never released any of them. And so I was like, you know what I think I'm going to do? Because I was contemplating, I was ghostwriting as well. And so I had four stable clients, and one of those clients, she used to work in the marketing department of one of the big publishing companies. And she kept telling me, she was like, you need to stop writing for other people, stop ghostwriting, and write for yourself. And so she said to me, "You do that and put all of your energy in you instead of in us, and I think you'll be surprised at how successful you could be." And I was like, "Ah, okay." And so she kept pushing me to do it. And so finally, she was telling me, she was like, "Well, I'm gonna tell you what's trending right now." And she was like, "The biggest thing is steamy romance and interracial romance." And so for those people who I was ghostwriting for. One was paranormal, one was sweet romance, and the other two were steamy romance. But all four of them were white people. And so when she said that, I was
This
like,
is so it's
I'm
not
going to try
crazy that I thought
interracial
she was
romance
white.
because I've never done
I'm sorry.
that. And so I was
But go
like,
ahead.
I'm going to try that. And so I did. And so I decided in 2019 the stories that I was writing, I went back and made them interracial rather than just AA. And so happened coming up on 2019, I was working at Coca-Cola, and they did a massive layoff. They sent all the jobs overseas. And so some of us had a choice to stay or not stay. And, if you didn't stay, you take the package and you keep it moving. So I decided I was going to take the package and keep it moving and try my hand at this writing thing with a new name. And so that's how Cassie V was born.
Yay.
Yeah. And I got to tell y'all, so Cassie is my alter ego. She's that bad girl for her husband. Shell is the good girl. Shell is the wife, but Cassie is the bad girl. And so when I was looking for a pen name, he suggested that I go with Cassie. And my daughter came up with Verano because that is Spanish for summer. And so we were thinking hot and spicy. So that's how Cassie Verano was born.
Yeah, so that explains. Is that well? I don't think it really truly explained, but explain a little bit more, like why um, you like to write erotica.
Yep. That other part of my personality. I got a few of them, y'all. I got a few of them.
Yes, and I do. I mean, and I know some of you. You've been following us since we started this podcast, but I want y'all to know she was not going to show her face. It was just going to be me, so you would see my lovely face and a logo.
Yeah, that was it.
That was going to be it because she wasn't yet ready to present herself to the world. And I get it. I do get it because for a while I debated whether or not to show my face too. But when uh, I'm so glad that she did take the chance. And if you ever seen Cassie live, this is why I call her Cassie. I see more Cassie now than I do Shell. When I first met her, I could say it was probably more Shell
Yeah.
because she was more reserved, more quiet. But let her have the whip, let her have the chain, the collar. She
And
is
those 6-inch stilettos.
6 inch stilettos. No wonder I seem so short next to you. It's like, I knew they were tall. I know they were 6 inches. Though I'm already a midget towards you, but that I'm really like, oh, okay. So now I know. I'm at least have to step up my game, have some kind of heel
And
the
yeah,
next
they
time
were
you do a live
6-inch
show.
stilettos.
next time we do a live show, I will have to. Yes, Rosalind says you're dangerous. And she is. You see, it's like you do see a whole different person because she doesn't like she needs like she tells me her social battery needs charging.
Hmm.
Being in front of people, too many people. She's tired. She's introvert, like most of us. We're introvert and we come out
Right.
of shell when we have to. Now, I still like, hey, I come out of my shell. I can't come out of my shell sexually. She had me moaning in public. And I can't. I still struggle. I'm like, I can't. I'm trying. Um,
That was hilarious.
but this young woman, she is like, I'm scared of her. I don't know what she gonna do. Like I'm sitting there like, oh, like clutch the pearls for real. I think I clutched the pearls on this show. If you go back, you can
I'm
watch any
sure.
of our live shows, but we're gonna do another one. Hopefully some more down the line. I'm like, y'all, I have no idea where she's coming with that. Yeah,
Let
whips
me tell
and
you something.
chains, Ronnie. Whips and chains.
And you
Right?
know what's so funny? Because when my husband talks to any of our family or friends, he say people think we're lying. He said, "But Ty and I have no idea what's coming." He said we're both sitting there clueless, like, "What is this girl about to do now?" And
We don't.
sometimes, honestly, I don't know until right before the show. Sometimes I don't even know. It's just, I have a vague outline, but then my mind keeps going and going, and it just goes.
Yes, and it does make it fun because I don't know where she's going with it. Because I know some of the guests will be like, "What's she gonna say?" I don't know. They looking at me like, mm-hmm. I'm like, for real. I'm like, I'm sitting there like, oh, what's she about to do, y'all? Like, I don't know. I have
I love it.
no clue why. Um, but anyway, I just want to say, like, the energy. She makes it fun. She makes people who I normally wouldn't think would respond will start responding. So it is a cool, and as Ronnie said, 'cause she was there, the live was, yeah, it is. It's a fun time. It is a fun
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And so, what is a story you want to write but haven't yet?
I can't say that because everything that I've wanted to write, I have done.
Okay.
Um, and as you know, and Carla may know, I usually have several of them in the works at one time because once it pops in my head and I want to do it, I'm going to do it. And I do. I shouldn't put that type of pressure on myself, but it's like I can't stop and I can't get it out of my head. And so I've got this huge board where I jot all my ideas down. Like I've already got two. I have two Bellas going right now, a Patreon story, um, and some little anthologies that I'm doing. However, with that being said, I also have another series that I'm currently working on that I plan to release around the first of the year. And then there are two other series that have 12 books each.
Y'all, let me explain this to you. Since she got 12 books each, she has written like number 10. I'm like, who starts writing a book at 10? So you got to figure out what happened nine books before. When she told me that I was like, okay, I'm gonna say foolishness for me. But when she told me that foolishness that it's she was like, I wrote book six.
Yeah,
You wrote book
yeah.
six, not one through five?
Because that was like with Heartless. Heartless was written before the Maxwells were written, but he wasn't ready to come out, you know? And then I think after Heartless, I wrote Take Me With You, and then I kind of jumped forward to Ezra's Give In to Me, but then I put him on a back burner and went back to I Feel For You, which was number two, and so on and so forth. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
this
know.
yeah. Because I know I know her mind is always work. Her mind's I'm always amazed by how quick she can write a story, how quick she can craft. Because the other, we were talking about our series that we're going to announce later now, but she was like, huh, I think I'm gonna write the first part. And then she sent it to me that day, and I was like, okay, she made it. She's like, I finished that already, so let me just start on this. And she said, here it is. I'm like, as
I
I,
am a I
as
am
I'm
a
way
chaotic mess, y'all. I am a chaotic mess, but I love me.
it's not a chaotic. Well, I'll say this.
No, it's chaotic because I am all over the place.
No, it's not. But see, it's there's some order to you. So maybe it's chaotic order. It's not a
Hmm.
mess. because what you sent me was perfectly. And I wasn't like, what is this? It's all to me. A chaotic mess is what you how you said you started out with having stories you didn't complete. You know what I mean? That's different. Like if you
Hmm.
start writing and then you didn't do this, you didn't
Yeah.
finish that, but you're finishing your stories now. So that's what make it not what it might have been in the past. You do actually go
Yeah.
back and finish these stories. So and
Yeah.
then the stories are cohesive. It's not like chaotic mess will be you just started writing and I'm reading. I'm like, but this is not flowing. This does not make sense. It flows. So that's why I said it might be chaos, but somehow when you put it down on paper, it becomes order.
Well, yeah, but that's like when we think about my Fiery Disciples motorcycle series. So everybody is like, well, when is Anarchy story coming out, and when is Raider story coming out? I've started on Raider story. I probably got the first three chapters, but then Raider said he needed a minute to go hoe around some more. So I'm letting him hoe around before he get his life in order. So while he does that, I'm gonna hop over to my other stuff. And and he was supposed to be out this summer.
Yeah, but no, that's the same with me because wedding
Yeah.
season supposed to have been out. So I think some people were mad with me that I dropped a place in the sun 'cause that wasn't even written. And
Uh-huh.
I wrote that in between. So I feel you on that. Like sometimes the energy for another story comes first. So I
Yeah.
definitely feel you in terms of that because there are definitely certain books that I was supposed to write that I didn't or haven't because energy for another book, or if you want to say a character calls to you.
Yeah.
And because right now Bakari calling to me again from the Forbidden
That's my
Series.
boyfriend, y'all.
And as I'm
That is
calling
my
it,
book bag.
yes, as I'm calling it, a couple of my readers reached out and was like, I need to know what's going on. Can you write something? And I know for a lot of people, either you love the story or you don't. But I get you on that. Like I thought I was done with that series, but
Mhm.
literally, so I feel you in terms of a character might call to you and say, not right now, I'm done.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say probably holding around like you, but
No, that's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing.
but no, I get. I do think that's what the beauty of being this type of writer is that we can like jump around. Our readers may not always like it because they're anxious for whatever story that they love,
Right.
but it is what it is in terms of
Yeah.
it is what it is in terms of that. But I do want, since we were talking about the life between authors and readers, tell me what is the best part of being a writer, or should I
Oh,
say published writer? Because you're going to write regardless.
yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
I say published writer.
It's so many different things. One of my major highs is when I get an email or an inbox message with somebody telling me how they felt about the story. Not the ones that's dragging you or trashing you. Let me put that out there because some of them might pop up too. But when they are, oh my God, I was ready to fight such and such, or oh my God, I love this person, and you caught me off guard with that, you threw me for a loop, and those kind of things, I absolutely love. Um, Having this space that we have here, this safe space between you and I and our readers, and being able to connect with them and talk with them and bring other people to them, I love. And I don't think that would be a thing. I know that wouldn't be a thing if I wasn't a published writer. Um,
That's true. That
so I
is true.
have to say those two things, and then release day.
Mm.
Release day because you're excited, but you're so scared and nervous because you don't know what this book is gonna do. But it's just an adrenaline rush. So those are the three greatest things for me.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yes. And what would be, and I know we've talked about in the show, but I can't quite recall, like one of your favorite genres to write, or what is your favorite genre to write, or trope? I should say trope. I know what genre, but trope.
Enemies to lovers is my favorite trope.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I say that quite often. It's enemies to lovers. Yeah, Ronnie, that was. I gotta say now that experience was unlike anything else. The way they were with Rose, in the group and everything. Lately, I've been hearing crickets, so I don't know if the bellows the way they were rose. But that was amazing because they, oh my goodness, before I could even get
No, they were that was a rabid
anything,
fan base
yeah,
for that story.
they
So
they they
fan
went hard
base.
for that. So and I love that. I so appreciated that. But I have to say, enemies to lovers is my absolute favorite, and then one that I hadn't thought would be, but I have to thank Jennifer Copeland for challenging me to do it. Would be age gap because that wasn't a big thing for me. So I mean, it might be like 3 or 4 years, but 10 years. So those two are my favorite.
Okay. I still got to work on the age gap because I did read one age gap romance years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it was so good. It was done so well. And I was surprised that I guess because I kept picturing the guy being Denzel, maybe that helped.
That's
I
not
was
a
like,
bad thing.
Denzel Washington? Then yes.
That is not a bad thing.
Yes. But it was a big age gap in the story, but it was so well told. And then it was a forbidden romance because he had a wife, but him and his wife was having so much trouble. And it wasn't a typical the guy stepped out on his wife. I wish I could figure out
Yeah.
what that story was. I mean, I read it so long ago, and I'm like, man, what was the name of that story?
Oops,
Because that was
sorry. I'm
uh,
just doing stuff over here.
that story was so good. But um, yeah. So, what's your trope you do not like writing, or it's harder to write? I won't say you don't, because you pretty much write anything. But
Yeah.
that you like really have a hard time writing this.
I can't say that I can't say that I've run into one, but I will say that I haven't challenged myself on all of them. So there's a lot of them I haven't explored, so I really don't know. Pretty much everything that I've tackled has not really been hard for me. Maybe I might have thought it was going to be going in like I did Age Gap, um, but it wasn't. And even Secret Baby, I was thinking it was going to be hard, and I did that in Disclosure, which is on Patreon, and it wasn't a challenge for me. It was what it was. So, but there are so many I haven't explored yet, so I don't know what might happen. I'll tell you a genre that I won't write is PNR. Um, I wrote it for
Someone else, yeah.
yeah, but I wouldn't do it for me.
I want to ask if y'all have questions y'all want to throw out, you can ask at any point. We and her just kicking it, so feel free. If
Yeah.
there's not a particular question answer session, we just talking. So definitely, if there's something that I haven't asked or you want to add to whatever I have asked, now's your
And
time. Go
and
ahead.
while they're doing that, I'm just gonna share out a few things.
Okay.
This is free today. This is The Scandal. This is one of my first BDSM books that I wrote, and I had so much
Yes,
fun
that
writing
was
that
really
book.
good.
I loved writing that book. So you
Really
guys can download it on Amazon up until midnight. And I am actually doing a different book every single day this week in honor of my anniversary. But I'm also going up until Labor Day. Labor Day will be the last day that I'll have the free books out there. So make sure that you guys are following along on social media so that you can see. And then tomorrow's book will be Dominating Sin. Um, and Dominating Sin was in Club Desire. So that will be free on tomorrow. I know it says today only, but I'm
just because
sharing
you're gonna
this with
post it
y'all in
tomorrow.
advance. Huh?
George says, "Thank you, Cassie." I said that's because you're gonna post it tomorrow, just showing.
Yeah. You are welcome, darling. So welcome.
Nice
Um,
these
and
promos.
then today, a new episode of Reckless release. So if you are not a Patreon member, go on Patreon. Check out. Oh, that just made me think about something.
You are freezing for some reason. You're frozen.
Check that out. Looks like I froze for a minute.
You still frozen.
Ty, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. I don't know if you can see me or not. I'm still here, but you're frozen. Huh. She is frozen. Hello. Still frozen. I wonder what's making her frozen. So I'm trying to get y'all. Can y'all still see me, or am I the frozen one and she's live? Because it'd be the funniest thing if I'm thinking she's frozen. I'm really the frozen one. So y'all tell me what's happening on your end. What do you see? Anybody? Because no one's okay. So Ruby, hey Ruby, she can see me. So okay, I am still. So Cassie is still trying to. She's gonna come back in. That's all. She can come back in, um, and join us in a second. So as we wait, yes, good. El George says you're still live, Roz, and El George says you're not frozen. Yeah. All I can say is this: those of who are on here, we appreciate you. I know that you all are followers and fans of Cassie, and we definitely appreciate it. And this has been a fun ride for us. This ups and downs, these valleys and hills, and I can't thank you enough for. Um, I think Cassie's trying to come back in. I can't thank you enough for your support.
Hey,
Yes, Rosalind.
have
Yeah,
no idea. I'm so sorry, y'all.
it's cool. Look, I was like, I had to look. I try to, handle stuff when stuff happens like that. You go back and watch the video, you might be like, "What was Ty doing?" Rosalind asks, "When is my next
Everybody's like,
IR
what
book?"
happened here?
Huh?
I was like, what just happened here?
Yes. That's a good. I'm going with Rosalind asks. She asks, "Ty, when is my next IR book?" Let me tell y'all something about this IR and AA world that some of you may or may not be aware of. Is that, man, it is divided in terms of y'all like what y'all like. Because it's not just divided among with authors, also with the readers. There are readers, if they like IR, they're not going to read any AA. And if they like AA, they will not read IR. There are very few of us that can do that blend well. Not many of us. Now, Naima Simone might be, and even she struggles with that sometimes, because people like what they like. And if you
Hmm.
are an IR reader and your author writes both, and they might, let's say they start writing more AA than IR, they lose
Hmm.
a lot of readers,
Hmm.
and vice versa. So for me, when I did my first IR, which was a complicated love, I was scared to put it out, honestly. I actually sent it to a developmental editor. Or was it a content editor? I think it was a content. Yes, I wanted to make sure I wasn't offending anybody, and I sent it. And I give credit to this content editor because she said, "Ty, I've read some of your stuff before. Why are you worried?" I said, "Yeah, but you read my AA, not my IR." She was like, "I trust that even your IR won't offend anybody." She wouldn't even read it, which is good. I mean, she was being honest because she could have got money out me,
Hmm.
but she didn't. She was like, "I can read if you want me to, but I am very confident. Why are you nervous?" And I was like, "Because you don't understand." It's like in this world we have, it's divided. Um, so I say that in the sense I have written three IR, Complicated Love, Diamond Lake series, the third book, and then um, of course Savage Bloodline with Gianni. Um, and I'm gonna say this because it's such a small group, and even people watching is big. I'm also Black Onyx. For those who want to, I had to make it separate so that people who like IR will read those stories. Everybody doesn't know that I'm Black Onyx. It's not this big secret, but for some people they won't know that it's me who just strictly. But my Thai, whoever is on my newsletter, they know I'm also Black Onyx. 'Cause I went ahead and told my Thai newsletter, but all my Black Onyx people don't know that I'm Thai. Um, so yes, if you want to read IR, you can look up Black Onyx, and I have uh, Savage Bloodline that came out, Gavin, and then I have a Kendall Vella story, um, an undisclosed affair, that's actually doing pretty good, better than my AA. So I think y'all are like the Kindle. So I'll say on that. I think AA people still trying to come around to the Kindle. I think I,
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean the Bella. Let me say that the Bella. So yes, I'm look, Rosalind, you got me to reveal something.
Mhm.
All good, all good. Um,
Because I think
what?
it did hit you hard
Oh
when
no,
you
I
did.
have not recovered from that.
Yeah.
I'm just so. I mean, I have not had. I used to have almost every release would be in the top 20 on Black Romance. After I would say it was Gianni, because even Complicated Love did well because people said they couldn't tell he was black or white. But
Mhm.
when I did Gianni, even though it helped me become a USA Today bestseller, I lost a lot of readers and have not
Mhm.
recovered from it. And that was 2, 3 years ago. So yeah, they're not playing with me. They're like, look, this is how you started. We know you as AA.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate. It is what it is, but it's very unfortunate.
It is. It is. Oh, I didn't know you was reading that, Ronnie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, but yeah, it is very, yeah. It's a, and it's just unfortunate because, especially because me and Cassie write both. We like both worlds. Cassie is more, of course, IR. That's why she has two separate names. She got Shell and Cassie for the same reasons why I end up eventually separating the two out, because we know how readers are like. This is what they expect from you, and so it does make it hard. Now we get to the level where where it doesn't really matter. Like you can like my book, don't like my book, financial wise, business wise, then I think we would probably do it a little bit more. But until that magical day comes,
Yeah,
we really do try.
absolutely.
Um, Rosin said that Savage Bloodline book was excellent. Thank you. Ruby says, I follow the author, not the genre. And that's how me and Cassie are with that. We talk about that a lot, how we're more of a fan of the actual author than necessarily the genre they're writing in. Although we do understand sometimes, like a writer or author might go too far of what you don't like to read, so you probably won't touch it, and it's quite okay. But
Hmm.
as a whole, we tend to follow that author. Worst thing about being an author.
Reviews can be extremely scathing at times. That's it. The fact that you have to put yourself out there and be judged by the world, it's not easy,
It is not.
and it's the reason I never wanted to publish anyway. The reason he kept pushing me because I did not want that judgment, on some things that if it's really close to your heart,
Hmm.
you know, um, yeah.
And I think, and I know we've had this conversation at some, because I started writing on Wattpad for free. I think I
Hmm.
wrote 2016 to 2019, 3 years, when I would interrupt time with my family, interrupt
Hmm.
time in my day to write for free,
Yeah.
and didn't care because it was just a joy to write. And the minute I became published, now I care about what everybody says, what everybody thinks. I want me to phrase that. I don't say I care all the time because I don't all the time,
Mhm.
but it does make a difference. That it does make a difference now, business wise, if people give you negative reviews or no reviews.
Mhm.
It affects the business. There's no other way
It
around.
does. It does. It
Um,
absolutely does.
and that was, and sometimes and I was going to say Shell. Now I was going to say Shell knows. Cassie knows that I have said, like, I'm gonna go back to them days where I was just would write and just write. And even though it was published and then people know me as Tiye, it was just for free. And I never
Mhm.
cared about the money. I never cared about it. I just did it.
Yeah.
But we here now. And I wouldn't have met Cassie slash Shell slash whichever other people that she has inside, persona she has inside of her, if it wasn't for it. So I have to,
Miss
I
Verona when you're nasty. Okay.
look, her, yeah, that's what her energy coming back. She slipped that in there.
Not really. When it get on the night side, it all starts coming down, and so I probably sounded more stuffed up than.
We sounded more stuff than
Oh,
before.
yeah.
Yeah, it's it's all good. It's all good.
Um,
It,
oh, I did
mhm.
want to say
What else? Yeah, because I
that
know it kind of
I
got
am.
cut off. My bad. Yes, yes.
Yeah, no, I did want to say that I am giving away one signed copy, a paperback copy of Alessandro tonight.
Nice.
So, and
I
I
think he probably
have,
was my favorite of your DeLucas.
he was the gentleman, but yeah, I've got him here. So I'm giving that away. But I
How are
will
you giving it
post
away?
the details. Huh?
How are you giving it away?
That's what I was going to say. I
Oh,
am going to post the details on Facebook.
okay.
And the funny part about it is you'll have had to watch the show to figure out, like, everybody can't just go on there and say, okay, and answer the question, whatever the question is. You'll have had to have watched the show to be able
Okay.
to do it.
Because I was just about to say you're not gonna make it special for the people watching this today, but that they have to watch the show.
Yep,
Makes
it's
sense.
just for the
Makes
people
sense.
who watch.
I
And
like
I
it.
think, so that is,
Ooh, ooh.
oh, and one last one is that Memoirs of a Madam drops tonight at midnight. Um, and that is my other Vela,
Hmm.
and that is episode 20, I believe. And that's it. That's it as far as my announcements.
I'm loving the promos.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. What is your favorite? Okay, you all right?
Yeah, I think that's age right there. That ain't got nothing to do with the sickness.
Rosin has a question.
Oh yes, it will be ending. Thank you, Rosalind. It will be ending this month, and then it will be ending this month, and then the third book in that series will come. And the funny thing about that, so that's a four-book series, and I don't know which one that I'm going to release next of those four books. So, and it'll probably be, I want to say the middle of September when
Hmm.
it comes out. And hold on just a moment. That's, mm, oh, where am I? Y'all forgive me, I'm pulling up files. Um, Either relinquish or tarnish, one of those. I'm not sure which one I'm going to release next, but I'll know within a week. Yeah,
You'll know within a okay, okay,
within a week which one I'm going to put up on Patreon.
okay. And which one? I know people. I know as an author, I know it's not always easy, but I still have to ask this. What would you say is one of your favorite books? Period. Favorite story that you've read
Um,
so far?
One was given to me in the Maxwell series. I enjoyed writing that age gap book. Um, I enjoyed it one because he had so much to prove to her, and that, you know, not only are we overcoming this age thing, and showing you that I'm mature enough to handle you and get with you and be on your level, if not surpassing your level, but the fact that you're my mom's friend and my father's employee shouldn't even be a hindrance for us. So, oh, she must be talking about,
What you just said, yeah,
yeah, okay.
about Nicholas, yeah.
Thank you, Rosalind. But so that was, yeah, he was not playing with Morgan, and so I really enjoyed writing that stories because it allowed me to go back to just kind of old fashioned romance. He was writing her love letters and popping up at her job, taking her, breakfast or lunch and just things of that nature, and just really proving to her nobody is standing in our way but you. You're the only thing that's keeping us from being a couple. So I enjoyed that. Um, what else did I really enjoy? I've enjoyed quite a few of them. I have to say, I have to. I really enjoyed writing. Um, I really. This isn't a book, but I really enjoyed writing Rose. I had so much fun with that, Bella.
But it
Like,
is your story. It is a story though,
yeah.
regardless.
Well, yeah. You said story, not book.
Yeah.
I had so much fun with that. Absolutely had a lot of fun with that, Bella. And I had a hard time bringing that to an end, but I knew I needed to. It's like, let's go out while we're still on a high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not keep riding this wave. And I think we got 104 episodes in. So
Man, that like I said, that was very massive. And all I gotta say is I am, I was gonna say y'all thank me. Thank me. Just put that out.
you did. You did.
I don't usually like take
I'm
credit for
not
stuff.
going to do that.
I usually don't take credit for stuff, but I'm gonna do on that one. Okay.
I was not feeling the Kimber Vella
She
thing because
she
it's
was
just,
not.
yeah.
And
So,
she went in and killed it. Like I was just like, excuse me, excuse me, top 100, what was it? Top 50? I mean, I forgot how far
yeah.
Rose.
The highest I got at one point was like 31, and I was super stoked by that.
Yes.
And it was funny because last night I just happened to be going back through there and seeing, new people who are reading it, leaving comments. And this goes back to those reviews I told y'all. Somebody wrote in there, she was like, "Where's the creativity?" I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And she
But
wrote a whole paragraph on how I needed to write my scene. And rather than saying, "Okay, ma'am, you can write the story," I was just like, "Thank you, but I saved that kind of stuff for my mafia story. This is not a mafia story." I mean, he did have his ways, but he was not mafia. Yeah.
okay. And it is, and that's when it becomes difficult or challenging because you do want to respond back. It's natural to want to defend yourself, but we also know that sometimes defending yourself, you lose
Yeah.
readers.
Yeah.
And that is a fine balance because you want to say, and then you're like, nope, nope.
Yep. And so I
Because
just told her, I respect your point of view. However, I
exactly.
do save those things for my mafia stories. And I
Yeah.
just left it at that and kept it moving.
Yes. And that, yeah, so yeah, Ronnie is like, I'm telling you, get like, you get somebody who absolutely loved your story, and then someone is like, that was horrible, or that's okay. I won't say no one ever said it was horrible, but but
Mhm.
they're like, it's just the weirdest thing, and
Yeah.
um, that is one of those where you do have to take it to heart. I know, those who know me know I love Michael B. Jordan, but he said that one time. He was like, he was so grateful that because he had done a bad movie, he had done Fantastic Four, then right after that Creed came out.
Uh huh.
He was like, I am so grateful for Creed because after Fantastic Four, I felt like I couldn't even act anymore. People was just like, saying how horrible it was and why did he take like he got so much flack for it. So when he did Creed, the same like within a month of each other or 2 months of each other, and he got all the praise in the world. And he realized it really is about people's opinion.
Yeah.
You know, he
And
did
that
the
was
best he
Heartless
could.
for me.
He
Heartless
was the
did
best
that
he
for me.
could.
Yeah. Because after Heartless, I was like, I just want to go and climb up under a rock and just say, forget it. Why am I writing again? And then it was like, well, the reason you did this in the first place, and I haven't had that redeeming moment like he did, but I had found it inside. I haven't found it externally. But it was
Yes.
like, the reason
Yeah.
that you're doing this in the first place is for you. That's
Yeah.
the whole point of why you write.
Yeah.
You started this at 12 years old and it was so cathartic. It was something you needed to express what was inside of you. So that's why you do it. Yes, it is a blessing to be able to share it with the world. And I absolutely want to share it with an even larger audience. But at the end of the day, if it's all taken away from me tomorrow, God forbid, I still have to write. I have to. So,
Yeah, no, it's the same thing because I don't look forward to release day anymore. I almost like I want to just keep writing and putting it out because I know people who are fans of mine or readers of mine.
yeah,
I put it out for them at this point. Like I don't get excited about release day at all anymore. It's just because it's too many emotions I don't like. When I'm
yeah,
actually writing, I love it. The whole time I'm just like,
yeah,
excited about
yeah.
writing. But when it comes to release that, I don't like that feeling anymore. I hate that I don't, but I don't. I don't.
Mhm.
I'm not like, oh, I can't wait till tomorrow. I'm just excited about finishing a story that I enjoyed.
Yep.
I got a wonderful street team, beta team, and even if one person on my beta team doesn't like it, the other ones will, and they kind of balance each other. I've yet to write a story where everybody's on the same page saying, ah.
Okay.
But I've had, where there's some difference opinion about a story, but never when everybody was on the same page. If they are, it's usually this is a good book, put it out there. So I look forward to giving it to my betas. That probably to me is my exciting to say. I got a book coming out, y'all. Y'all ready to read it more so
Mhm.
than, and of course my core readers that I know rock with me.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't get excited anymore. I don't know if I ever will again. Um, I'm okay with that because otherwise I won't write for the pure enjoyment of it.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's why I don't want to lose that, as you said. I don't want to lose the fact that,
Why
hey,
you do this in the first place?
why do it in the first place?
Yep.
I don't. I don't want to let readers dictate what I know is my gift.
Yeah.
So I just want to do only reason why, because I really, because this is Cassie night, but I do at least want to say, because I did have an audio drop today, so I want to just announce it real quick. Um, it is Heartless. Let me see if I can. I had to quickly load it. Um, it's available anywhere you listen to audio.
That is beautiful.
So no matter where you are, thank you, thank you. You can listen to it. This isn't enemies to lovers. It is more. It is my most emotional story that I've written. I cried a lot as I was writing this story, because and there's some triggers in here. I have to say that trigger warnings in the story. Because it's like a revenge slash enemies to lovers office romance kind of book, and the main character wants to, years ago, her new boss, did some things that she didn't like, actually hated it for him. And now that she works for him and she knows that he's attracted to her, she wants to use it against him, and of course finds out or realizes um, she's fallen for him. So that was one of my, I enjoy writing that book. I did, even though it was very cathartic, and brought out it triggered some things in me. It is, I wrote it over a year ago, but now it's here on audio. So check it out if you get a chance.
I love that graphic. That was so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I actually took time and did it myself. I'd be proud of me because
You
usually
did a great job.
yeah. Well, I do graphics, but I tend to help get people to help me do them. I'll say that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I want you to ask yourself a sex question. It wouldn't be right not to
Ask myself a sex question. Ooh.
yeah, because this is the thing. For me, it's hard. Let me tell y'all why. Much as Cassie pressures us to make sure we answer the question, she herself doesn't like answering the question because she, it's about respecting her husband and loving her husband. Because I want her to not think of him and think of, and she's like, I can't. So that's why I don't like to give questions, because my questions would deal with other people. So this is why I'm asking her to come from, if she has one. She may not, because I am putting her on the spot. But
I'm actually going through my files to go back to find some old questions I've asked other people.
yeah.
Um, cause yeah, my brain just is not working like that tonight. I am not in my sexy self mode. I'm gonna put on my furry pajamas mode.
We have Shell. Shell is on. We should, you know what? We should change Cassie B and put
Yeah, and
Shell.
he's gonna be like,
We
baby,
should
don't
change
breathe
that
on
to
me. You
Shell.
know, wash your germs. That's the mode I'm in. Okay. Hmm.
Okay, I got one for you.
Okay. Okay.
What
Go
is
ahead.
what is give me your top two favorite sex scenes that you've written and why?
Damn, I can't remember my sex scenes. Um.
That's why it got to be something that's memorable.
Oh, one of them was in Find Someone Like You, and it was when they had sex on the beach and sex in the shower, her and Spencer, Poppy and Spencer, during the storm. Well, no, not in the shower, in the back room where he had her on the table. That's that's one. And my other one is I Feel for You. And you gonna like this one. When Shep and Joie were having Mac at the same time. That's my other favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the one you had, the 35, 40 page love scene that you had me read.
Yes, that one. That
It
is
was good though.
that
It
is
was
one of my
good.
favorite. That is one of my favorite sex scenes. I will not lie. I had so much fun writing that. Yeah,
Yes, I'm like,
I changed my self
man,
for
y'all,
writing that scene.
for real. If you, I mean, I know everybody on here has read your books, so I might be preaching to the choir, but she can write the hell out of
I
some sex
turned
scenes.
myself
I
on
cannot.
writing that scene. I was like, baby, come on now.
Yeah, I was just reading it. Like, I'm like the child who never seen it before reading. I'm like, notice how many times I'm turning the page now, right? It's like, okay.
Oh God, yeah, I love that. Oh, let me
Yes.
think. Um, I okay. I'm gonna finish this sentence. I tripped. I tripped over a dildo and a flogger. No, I tripped over a dildo, and my husband walked in and found me with my ass in the air. Instead of helping me, he sh- he plugged me. Wait. He
And this
he
is your
plugged.
work, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the because see, I had it in my mind what I was gonna say, but I
Okay.
can't. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it up here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Um, okay. Um, I tripped over. No, I tripped over. I'm just gonna say ball and chain because I didn't put a or the in there. I tripped over ball and chain. No, I tripped over. I tripped over. I'm gonna say my flogger. And my husband walked in and found me with my ass in the air. Instead of helping me up, he played with my asshole and I sucked him up. I sucked him up.
Okay.
And then one more question. Name something sexy a man can say in the bedroom to get you to instantly remove your panties if you're wearing them. My husband knows the answer to this is girl, don't you run from me. I love it.
I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that since I know your husband. I'm act like I didn't hear that.
And one last one, my secret fetish. Um, my secret fetish is to have all of my holes plugged all
Okay.
together. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
And we have Miss Cassie Verano, 5 years in the game, 5 years and a lifetime to go.
Thank you, ma'am.
All
Appreciate
right. All right. So we're going to sign out for now, but join us next time in a couple of weeks. We're really going to try to get IG working too so that you can join us via IG as well. Facebook
it.
is giving us a hard time. So we're going to,
Yeah.
we still can watch us on YouTube, but we also want to hit IG live because we have the amazing Be Love is going to be our guest.
Yes, we are excited about it.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes. I do have to put Ronnie, she said, damn to your scenario. The last thing, well, last thing you said. Yes.
Well, my finish my sentence or my fetish.
Yeah, it takes a minute. But as she's thinking, we're going to close out the show. I appreciate you all joining again with us with Cozy Sips with Cat. I am Ty, and she is,
Cassie Verona.
yes.
Tell us what you like. Tell us what you love. Don't tell us what you didn't like, including my little blip where I froze on the screen and disappeared for a while on y'all because I just had to go get it together because we don't want to hear all that other shit.
All
See you in 2 weeks.
right, y'all. Take it easy. Bye. Oh, Ronnie said your fetish. It was your fetish.
Okay, okay.
That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure. Yeah. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all soon. Take it easy.
Take care.